What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome to another video. It's currently 7:37 p.m. on Sunday the 20th of August, and yeah, I'm back off holiday, so that means I'm back to doing my daily reviews. And I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and to all my previous subscribers as well for staying around and checking out the content that's been dropping since I've been on holiday. But yeah, we're gonna get straight into the charts. Last week was very choppy in terms of a lot of back and forth price action. Before I left, I did state how ICT was explaining that August is a month where you can anticipate a lot of choppy action and a lot of unpredictability in the market. So I wasn't too concerned with it, but it has been quite ugly price action, and we'll see that when we drop down into lower time frames. I have watched ICT's recent video as well. He's done another review stating his expectations and his viewpoints of where he's expecting price to draw for this oncoming week. So I do suggest everybody goes and watches that. And he was stating how he's pretty much neutral, and I can understand why, because we've got to the point now where price is either going to expand higher or we're going to retrace lower and start to run back into the range that we've created. The past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks we've had all up close candles on DXY, so there is reason, I believe, for us to retrace. And you'll notice that here I've marked out an order block, so I'm going to get straight into it. So we have the higher for order block here, low, and then I've marked out the mean threshold with this dashed black line, and you can see we just traded up to and tapped into that 50% level, which is the mean threshold. Now in the oncoming week, it really depends how we treat this 50% level. If we aggressively trade through it and find support, then I'd then anticipate us to run into this swing high resting here. But so long as price stays below this 50% level and continues to respect it, then I'd want to see us start to run lower. But yeah, you can see we took out this buy side liquidity. I've marked that out in grey because we've taken it out. So if we drop down to the daily, we can have a better look. So there's that buy side liquidity. I've also marked out this grey box, which is a inversion fair value gap. You can see it's traded on the upside, downside, upside, downside. So I anticipate this box to be a bearish fair value gap in terms of its inversion. So I am expecting basically that this acts as resistance, and you can see we traded to the 50% level of that on Friday. And yeah, like I said, if we expand lower, specifically if we expand lower below this low, then I'd like to start then I'd anticipate us to start running into this fair value gap resting here and potentially run into these lows here. But it really depends on Monday's trading. Again, go watch ICT's recent review. He himself states that he needs to wait for Monday to give him more confluence as to what to expect, because again, there is the possibility that we do aggressively trade higher, run out this high, trade above this fair value gap, find support on top of it, and then these highs will then get targeted. However, if we don't, again, then all these lows here, and this fair value gap are all potential south side liquidity for DXY to draw to. So it is a very what's the word, unpredictable month like environment. I haven't seen choppiness and consolidation this heavy since December. I know that this December holiday time, it gets very consolidated, and this is what it's reminding me of, and I don't like it at all. So these aren't the best environments to be trading in, but hopefully Monday will give us more of an idea. But yeah, we can drop down to the hourly, and you can see how we've created these relative equal highs. Friday just tapped into those highs, and then we broke lower. So yeah, there's possibility for us to run down into this outside liquidity resting here, and again that fair value gap that's resting just below that massive weekly order block. But honestly, it's not the best environments right now. Let's go to GBP USD, and we'll start with the weekly and do the same thing. So what I've actually done with GBP is I have looked at the IPTA data ranges, because I didn't get around to doing it at the start of the month. So I've marked out from the 1st of August, and I've casted back 60 days, 20, 40, 60, but I'm looking at the last 60 days mainly, and then I'm looking at what we've traded to already. So you can see we've taken out the low of the previous 20 days, and you can see we stabbed into that twice here and then here again. There's also an inversion fair value gap on the daily, so it's been traded on the downside and the upside, so we anticipate that this acts as support, and you can see our price has continued to trade away from it. And this week we traded up away, touched it one last time, and then closed just above it. So again, if Dixie wants to push lower, then this opens its arms for GBP to then push higher and run into this buy side liquidity. I've also marked out the 50% of the past 20 days for us to look at the range, and that I can imagine that may be another draw for price to want to reprice up towards that. So if we go down to the 4 hour, you can see there's a massive fair value gap as well, which is lined up nicely with the 50% of that 20-day period, which was before August. So that would be nice if price does want to draw up there, again assuming Dixie does move lower. Now, I've been expecting lower Dixie for a while now. If you've been watching my videos before I went on holiday, I have been expecting Dixie, and this whole move upwards, I did not anticipate any of this. Although I adjusted to the conditions, I do still want to see Dixie push lower. So, but as long as we're moving up, I shouldn't really, until this, as I said, until this swing low gets taken, so Thursday's swing low, I'm not going to expect to be bearish. So I'm bullish until proven otherwise, basically, and that's specifically is seeing this low get taken. But anyway, let's go back to GBP USD. As I was saying, another thing to note with GBP USD is that GBP is showing a lot of strength compared to Euro. Sorry, so I'll show you what I mean. If I add Euro USD here, you can see that Euro has been making lower lows, rightly so, as Dixie has been making higher highs, whereas Pound hasn't. So Pound's been making higher lows, which means there's some kind of distribution or some kind of going on with the Pound. Now, I've seen this happen before, a very long time ago, and I was confused. Again, with it being August, I'm not going to say too much, but it's possible that Pound's just showing a lot of strength. If Dixie starts to break lower, so if Dixie does take out that swing low, as I stated, if Dixie does take out that swing low, then I can imagine Pound would be the better currency to trade, because it's showing strength, which Euro is not. I'll say that again, and I'll add Dixie for context. Bear with me, guys. So you can see that Dixie's moved higher, Euro's moved lower, and Pound has failed to move lower. Now, if Dixie expands lower and takes out this swing low here, then I would want to be trading GBP and looking for longs on GBP, because I can see that GBP is showing strength. As in, yes, we took out this sell side liquidity, but you can see it's showing a lot more strength than Euro, meaning that this will be the better currency to trade, and we can expect some large expansions on GBP USD. But again, it's a matter of seeing what happens this week, and we are running into September very soon, so it's all just a waiting game at this point. We'll go to Euro USD. ICT has stated how he expects us to run into this sell side liquidity, this fair value gap. It would be nice to see. I did expect it to happen last week. It didn't happen. Why? Because we've been having that very, very choppy price action. It's possible we might just dip down, grab the stops, and then start to expand higher. But again, I don't see how GBP is going to treat that. But it's just waiting game. But you can see we traded right to the fair value gap, and we still have these relative equal lows resting here. I doubt price is going to leave them hanging there, so I can anticipate that to happen. But as these lows are getting made, to be honest, I don't know where GBP is going to trade to. It's possible it may want to dip back into this inversion fair value gap, or maybe even towards these wicks here and here. But considering we've taken out a swing low sell side liquidity here, and we've had a break in market structure here, I'll show you now. So once we took out this break in market structure here, I don't really want to see price trade back below this, unless of course dollar is going to continue to expand higher. I don't want to see us take out this low. So the maximum I'd want to see price trade to, as in the low of the week for next week, assuming we are bullish. I hope this is making sense, guys. It's been a while. Assuming we are bullish, is going to be the 50% of this wick. So let me mark that out. But yeah, if you guys have any questions with anything I'm saying, make sure to join the Discord. Just shoot a message in the general chat channel, and I'm happy to answer anything. But yeah, so I've marked out that wick, and that will be the lowest I'd want to see price trade to, which is possible. We have sell side resting here, and there's a fair value gap down there, so, and an order block obviously. So there's reason price might want to draw back to that. There's even a breaker, low, high, lower low, and broke higher. We haven't traded to that breaker yet, which is pretty much lined up with the low, with that midpoint, so we can drag that out as a potential draw on liquidity. So I'm going to just quickly state what would be nice to see. I personally do want to see dollar break lower. I do want to see dollar break lower, but before it breaks lower, it's likely going to have to take out some kind of buy side liquidity first. So it'd be nice to see dollar trade. Let's go to the 4 hour. It'd be nice to see if dollar can dip one more time into this inversion fair value gap and then start to run towards this Thursday's low. All whilst GBP trades down back into this wick, respecting the 50% level, which is consequent encroachment, and then start to run for this buy side liquidity and towards 50% of the previous 20 days IP to data range. This is a lot to go. Honestly, I think tomorrow's video will be a lot more clear. We'll have Monday's trading to look at, and we can go into a lot more in-depth analysis and figure out what the hell's going on, because these markets are absolutely crazy. So if I was you, I'd stay away from Monday, let it do its thing, and then we can always see what happens from then on. Anyway guys, that's everything. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.